Cool. Welcome all to the learning subteam sync. I guess looking at the agenda, status updates, anything new or yeah, I'm gonna leave it open. Anybody have anything?
As we get somewhat of a status update, which is that Pack is, considering or planning on a release soon, which will bring with it a number of changes in terms of the UX for how people interact with commands. We should probably coordinate at least a blog post, if not also some more explicit documentation. Like we'll have the command documentation automatically generated, but we should try and make sure that we have something that goes along with it to be like, oh yeah.
What sort of blog post ideas do you have in mind?
I was thinking, well, if we're able to get the cached image thing through, then we should definitely have something specifically about that. I think it's also important, especially we're talking about there was this big push for the subcommands. We should have some clarification on why we did that and how we envision people using it in the future, and a request for comment if if they're like, oh yeah, we hate this, it's terrible, then let us know.
Okay. I basically added Dan to cache images since he's the one that's implementing that feature, probably has the better, understanding of how to portray that. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah, I'm happy to work on the subcommand stuff.
Cool, that's what I was gonna ask. Awesome. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And then I guess that could be during the CCB period, the code freeze period, where those blog posts could be worked out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Cool. Is there any, I know we briefly touched on basically specifically for Pack having release branches for changes to the overall docs for things that aren't like tutorials and guides and stuff. Is that something that that's happening essentially?
Is that happening?
I feel like there was an issue that someone, or a PR, sorry, that somebody
Oh yeah,
had.
someone did that because we have all these deprecated commands.
Right.
That probably should also that can be done. It doesn't necessarily have to be done because none of the commands are breaking at this point. But at the same time, we should make sure that the commands, it's better to have the official commands there.
Cool. And then cache image. Yeah, there's definitely, is there? No, unless we create a guide for cache image, right? Which that would be optional. And I think we would leave that up to the platform team to determine that. Sorry, I'm kind of like in my head right now. What I was trying to say is we should probably have a guide for cache image, right? But I would leave it up to you and Dan to essentially create that and how that would differ from the blog post, right?
Okay, makes sense.
Cool. So release branch. I think we want
Pretty sure that there's an open issue already for that.
For the release branch, yeah.
No, there's an open issue already for documenting the cached images, I think.
I see. Okay, cool.
I think Dan opened one.
Cool. And this has the proper milestone. Do we have that?
I don't know if we have the milestone set up yet. We should.
Yeah. Cool. Sorry. Yeah, it does seem like we just went into a whole rabbit hole of Pack release related stuff, but good stuff. Good stuff. Yep. User research. We have that as a standing item. Do we have any updates there?
I was just, well, I was going to give a quick update about from the implementation side. no action, but an intention to write documentation covering the new APIs that the latest lifecycle supports. So Buildpack API and Platform API 0.5. We'll be looking at it with priority. So,
And sorry, what was this? This is documentation for the supported APIs.
yes.
And is it the migration guides as well, or is
Yeah,
that separate?
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Migrating from 04 to 05. Was hoping to
Nice.
do it concurrent with the lifecycle release, but that did not happen.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know if I talked about this last time. Maybe I was absent during this, but on our side, the learning side of things, the website, we migrated the calendar to be managed via Team Up. And right now, I believe it's myself and Joe that have access to modify that calendar. So the hope there is that instead of individuals owning invites, is people could just subscribe to this calendar via whatever their calendar app is. The only thing that I found is that even though calendars have been, around for a really long time, the way to add them to your application, especially on Microsoft, is like really difficult. So there's that. But nonetheless, I think this would be beneficial, and we have it on our website now, so that's something better than what we had before, which was nothing. Cool. Any other status updates? Okay. All right. User research. Have we gotten anything from Sam here?
I think there's an RFC, number 126, that has been up, I think before the break, and there are some comments there. So you should endeavor to go review that and leave feedback.
Cool. Adding it to the document. All right. Did we finish talking about the pack release? Because I have a standing item for issues, but we could kind of hold off on that since that's more interactive. Okay. Sounds good. All right, moving on to issues. I'll share my screen for this one real quick. So I have a query here for things that don't have a team associated to it, and including the learning team at some point, and we could review some of the things that are there. But I was wondering if we could either assign or just either make it the request, I guess I should say, for people to come in here and label stuff, or if we want to do it here interactively, if there's anything that we feel like might not be as straightforward. Maybe we
Label
should
stuff,
do the,
label stuff as what?
sorry. So we decided that we were going to have a team label associated with each issue. So that way that each team knows kind of what more or less we're kind of holding them responsible for, right? It's so that we know who's going to pick it up, or at least from what team people should be picking up from for documentation purposes. And so the query here is to bring about anything that this team should be looking at, but then also find things that haven't been labeled that we should associate with a team. So maybe the ask here would be for somebody from each team go in here and label the stuff for their particular team. So I could take the learning one and maybe David, you could take the platform stuff. Natalie, the implementation side. Sound good? Cool. So yeah, there's the link is on there, and just yeah, if you don't mind going through there. Uh-oh. Cool. And then once we have that, then we can maybe talk about in these standing issues items, talk about specific issues that are assigned to the team, and figuring out how to proceed about actually working through them. All right. Anything else? Hey, David, was it you that added the like annotations for people in the document? How do you do that?
You just do at and then start typing.
Ah, that works. That's nice.
Probably
it.
only works for people in our
Org.
G Suite.
Ah, that sucks.
Although we may be able to create for people because I could see my personal one as well.
Let's see, could I add Joe? Yeah, I could add Joe on here. It puts their email address instead of a name. You don't have his email address? I guess it's only people that know people.
I guess it's dependent on your contacts, probably.
Right. Cool. Nice
Interesting.
feature.
Cool.
Good to know. All right. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you all, and I'll see you all online.
See ya.